All right, everybody, good morning. Welcome to the love vibration. We vibrate high around here, folks. So, I got a question for you. What's your thinking like? What's your thinking like? What goes on in here? Is it cool? Is it fine? Are you an overthinker? Are you a negative thinker? Do you fantasize a lot? Do you think about the past? Are you present all the so what's your thinking like? Um a lot of people are aware that they have stuff going on when it comes to their thinking. People know if they're negative. They know how they think about people, if they don't like people, you know. So like I work in customer service, I work at a store, so I deal with a lot of customers and a lot of people who work there, we're always talking about, I hate people, customers, they're so annoying. But do we treat them like that? No, we're like, hi, how are you doing? But inside here, we're like, oh my goodness, another customer now. Um, so it's incongruent. Congruency is when what's in here matches what comes out. But that is not congruent whatsoever. What's going on in here is really negative, but what's coming out might, you might be putting on a good act. You know what I'm saying? So my question is again, what's your thinking like? What's coming? What's in here? Um, is what you're thinking how you present yourself? That's what I'm trying to do here. So I guess this video is going to be on congruency, I guess. Just matching, make sure everything's matching. What's in here is how you're presenting yourself. Um, so for me, I've never been a good faker. Like at all. Like I'm not a good actor. I'm really not. Like if I'm not feeling it, if I'm just not in a good mood, this is I'm talking about past me cuz current me is a little different cuz I've been making some changes. But so past me um yeah, like I'm not good at faking it. Like if I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna be like, "What do you want?" You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put on that smile. Like you'll be able to tell, or at least in my mind and how I feel like I'm not putting out the act. Some people, I actually have been told that, I always seem to keep cool. Like, even if inside I was falling apart, like I'm using rehab as an example. My roommate, shout out Abidi, I love you, my man. But I remember once him saying, like, I've been telling him how I was doing, and I'm like basically falling apart inside. And he's like, yeah, man, but you keep it together. Like, no one could even tell. I'm like, I guess that's cool, but like in my mind, I don't feel like I'm showing that I'm keeping together. Like, so maybe I am a better actor than I think. But the point is, I've always I've never been the one to try to, just put on that brave face. I just never could do it. I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. Like I've done my best, just, to deal with customers okay enough so I don't get fired or something like that. But, you know, now, when I'm dealing with customers and I'm really connecting and I'm smiling, yeah, I'll get to that. It's real. It's real. Like, you know, because I'm such a bad actor, like if I am acting like I want to connect with you and, like I am enjoying our connection together and, I'm smiling and I'm into it, that's real. That's real because I'm not good at it. I've been trying to get good at I've been trying to smile, exercise my facial muscles a little more. Yeah, I'm so happy because literally like my whole life, my face has been drooping down, so I have to sometimes practice just lifting my face up so I could smile. But the smile is natural now. Cuz speaking of smiles, whenever someone so annoying. So never tell someone Just smile. Never say that, because it's really freaking annoying for people who just don't smile, okay? Um, because, like, smile for a picture, my smile would always look so bad. It would just be like, because, like, it wasn't real. Like, the feeling behind the smile wasn't there. So, like, me just lifting my face, it just didn't look right, You know? Um, there's something about a real, actual smile that is. It's so different than, a fake practiced smile. Um, so yeah, yo, I smile now. Like I straight up smile because it's real. Because I have this. What's behind the smile is real now, and like you could tell, I could tell. Um, so yeah, congruency. I want what's in here to match what I'm presenting. I don't want to be fake. And it's fine to be fake. And like I said, it's okay to fake it till you make it. It really is. But the goal is to make it. The goal is to eventually make it real. Um, the thing is, we could just keep that act going. The one where in our minds we're like, I can't stand you, but I'm gonna smile and pretend I can. You could do that. You could just keep on doing that. Um, there's no congruency there, and my question is, why would you want to do that? If that's really what's going inside of here, I just want to let you know it doesn't. You don't have to think like that. You don't have to. Um, and I never knew this. Like, I never really realized this, that you could literally just change the way you think. Like, I always knew it was possible, but I didn't know how. Like, I always thought, yeah, I'm sure there's a way, but like, I didn't know how. So, for me, I'm figuring out how. I'm figuring out how. You have to put work in. It takes work. It takes time. It takes effort. And that's what daily affirmations are for me. Because, like I always say, our minds are programmed. The reason you're thinking, oh, I can't stand this person, or, oh, I don't want to be around people. People are annoying. People piss me off. It's like I have to deal with them, though. See, that's programming. You've been programmed with that. Whether you were aware you were programmed or not, probably not, because that kind of thing just happens. But the fact is, that's your programming. That's just natural. That is, you don't have to think about it. Your mind just goes there. So, because of that, it needs to be undone. It needs to be undone. If you want this to be a happier place, because that's a thing. If this is happy, you're gonna be happy. It's all this. It's all this. It's not anything extra going on. It's not. It's not a situational thing. It's really all up in here. No matter what you're going through, if this is in the right place and this and everything matches and it's congruent, you're going to be happy. You're going to be in a higher vibration, even through storms. It might suck for a while. Life might actually suck, but you don't have to say it sucks. You could reframe it and be like, all right, I'm going through a test. It's rough. It's brutal. It's not bad. Brutal and hard does not have to equal bad or wrong. Nothing's wrong. This is what life is. No one said life is supposed to be good or fair or anything that we kind of think it is. Because when we're born, hopefully our caregivers do the best to make us happy and treat us okay and give us this like kind of nice picture of life. And so we maybe right from the start we start thinking, oh, life is just supposed to be good, and when things aren't good, that's wrong. But that's not actually how it is. And I really think we should start teaching our kids the truth, that life is not supposed to be all fair and happy and good. We make it happy. Happy, high vibration is not a default state for most. For me, my default state was on the floor. It's not a default. You need to work at it in order to have it. Why am I happy? because I do so much for myself to make myself happy, you know? I eat right, except when I'm eating McDonald's and KFC like I did last night. But on the regular, I eat good, I put good stuff in my body. I work out, more good stuff for my body. So body is good. For my mind, honestly, what do I do for my mind? Not as much as I should. I need to work on my mind. But doing a daily video and, getting in the flow state of just speaking, that's doing wonders for my communication and I guess for my mind. So I am doing stuff for my mind. I feel like I could be doing more, and it's something I need to like identify and work on. And since I'm identifying it right at this very second, you better believe I'm going to work on it. Because that's just what I do now. I identify the problem, and instead of pushing it aside, I'm saying, all right, I'll take a baby step and, maybe start doing something towards it, a SMART goal, just a little measurable goal that, I could see if I could, I mean, I know I could do it, but something small to achieve that eventually could lead to something great. That's what it's all about. One day at a time, one little W at a time, So, my goodness. Yeah, we gotta fix this. This is where all the issues lie. Like the majority, like 99.9% of our issues are right here. It's how we think. It's our programming. We gotta undo it. So, it all starts somewhere. It starts with little sparks of hope. It starts with little, maybe a spark of motivation. But the thing is, you can't wait for motivation. Like if I waited till I felt like going to the gym, I probably wouldn't go that often. If I wait till I really felt like getting out of bed instead of hitting snooze to do my daily affirmations, I probably wouldn't do it every day. That's how I used to be in the past. I would be excited about it, to write my gratitude journal. And that excitement wore off, and so I stopped doing it. It wasn't just a part of me. It was like extra. It was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to try something. Oh yeah, this is great. I'll do it. And then a few days go by and it's like, I just don't, you lose it. You lose motivation. So you can't rely on it. You have to make it a habit. So, like going to the gym, like doing daily affirmations, I do it regardless of how I feel. I wake up, I get like zero sleep. Guess what? I'm getting out of bed and I'm going to hit record and I'm going to do affirmations with everyone. It's what I do every single day without fail, no excuses, because it's so easy to talk yourself out of things. You know what I mean? It's too dang easy. But if we're trying to be congruent and, have this, match this, and, just become this person that's real, the real deal, not just, in here being, a negative person, but on the outside being a positive person. No, congruency. We want everything to match up. We need to reprogram this. And that is what we are doing. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Know what I'm saying? This is what we do. And dang, day 21. This is a great day in the world for me, for the Love Vibration channel, because we reach 51 subscribers. And I don't know if you know what that means. Once you reach 50 subscribers on YouTube, you could start doing live streams. And so I've been doing the affirmations live on my other channel, Oakley Boo, because I didn't have enough subs on this channel, but I do now. And so we're going to do affirmations every morning to reprogram our minds and just become greater than we ever imagined. That's the goal. We ain't trying to go from low to normal. No. We're not trying to go from, low to where we once were, doing okay. No, we're going to exceed that. We're going to become the greatest, our greatest self. As Ralph Smart puts it, become the greatest version of yourself. And that is precisely what I'm doing, you know? And so, what's the greatest version of yourself? I'm asking you. What does that look like? What does the greatest version of you look like? How do they carry themselves? What's their posture look like? How do they think? What are their thoughts like? What's going on inside of here in your greatest version? What does it feel like? What does it feel like to be that greatest version? Imagine this. Imagine everything I'm saying. Just take a moment, close your eyes, chill, take a breath. What does the greatest possible version of yourself look like, feel like, sound like? How do they speak? How do they look at other people? When you see a person, what do you think? I'll tell you what I think. I think that they are my brother and my sister. You are my brother. You are my sister. I love you. Like, that's how I'm looking at everyone now. It's no longer another person. I just want to avoid them. No, it's, that's my brother right there. I don't know you, but you're still a brother, because we're all the same thing. We're a little orb of consciousness, and we found our way into a human. And, our bodies, this is just our car. Our bodies are our vehicle to carry us around, basically. We're not our body. Let's stop obsessing with the fact that, this isn't us. What you see is not us. Like, the spirit behind it is us. But, the physical body, chill with that. It doesn't matter. Yes, I want to look good because I feel good, and it makes me feel good. Like, literally, I work out mostly for the mental health aspects because it just makes me feel great. The fact that it makes me look better too physically, that's very secondary compared to, how great just the act of doing it makes me feel. Just moving around. Just because of the fact that when I was in a low vibrational state my whole life, negative, depressed, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to get off the couch. I felt drained all the time. But now, guess what? We getting high every day without drugs. We don't need drugs to get into this state. If we do use drugs for whatever, like I use THC at night sometimes to help me sleep, not to get high, not to get like this. This is natural. This is straight up natural right here. Yeah. Yo, I am killing it. My number one affirmation that we start with. I am killing it. And you're killing it too. I just want to let you know, you are doing better than you think. You really are. You're doing better than you think. You got so much going for you. Even if you're on the floor right now, guess what? You're still alive. You somehow stumbled upon this. Listen. If I could go from where I was to where I am now, you could do anything you want to. For real. For real. Like, if you guys only knew how I lived most of my life, not getting out of bed for days, living in my car, going to jail, being addicted to substances, you name it. You name it. All right? Every relationship I've had was a disaster. Come on. Who am I speaking to you? Is that you too? Yo, you could change. I could change. We could change together, support each other, show each other love. Yo, loving people, being filled with love. So obviously, the love vibration, that's what it means to me. It's the same thing as the Holy Spirit. It's the same thing as being filled with positive energy. We just call it the love vibration around here. When you have that, when you're in that spirit, you want to share that, and you're not discriminating. We're not just sharing that with others who are vibrating high like we do. We're sharing it with everyone, people in a low vibrational state, mean people, pissed off people, depressed people, and I don't like calling people this. They're people who have depression, people who are upset, but you're a person first and foremost. I don't want to label you as, oh, you're a negative person. I just put that on my channel because it's a short description. Because I can't put person who used to be in a negative state. That's too long. So it's the love vibration, former negative guy. But you are not a negative person. You are a person who had life happen. You are a person who was conditioned by life, and now you find yourself with, negative thinking or whatever it is that you're struggling with. You're still a person, and any of that stuff can be undone. I promise you that. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not easy. You're going to have to work at it every single day, like I do. But the thing is, like I say, it doesn't feel like work. It becomes not work. It becomes just straight up fun. Yo, start a channel like me. Why not? Why the heck not? Today, start your channel. Because whenever you're making a change, like I was saying the other day, you have to just start. Just start. Right, Kira? Kira told me, yo, you just got to start. And I was like, I already knew that, but she, put that right in my brain, right in front of me. I was like, yo, you're right. Shout out to Kira Vaughn. I love you. I love all the Vaughns. Shout out. I love the Vaughn family. You are the greatest. All of you. Yeah, you just start. Make a channel. This is helping me so much, just getting the flow state, just used to speaking. Since communication was always an issue for me, this is like, hello, best thing ever for me. So, yo, if I could do it, you could do it. Doesn't matter where you're at. The point of fixing this is so you could be happy anytime, no matter what's going. Not even happy, just doing your best, just better. Just better. Better is better than not better, right? Even if it's a little better, still better than where you're at, maybe, little improvement is fine, just anything. You know what? Right where you are right now is perfectly fine. Even if it sucks, it's fine. It's okay, because guess what? That's the reality of it. You are where you are, and if things were different, you would be somewhere else, but you're not. You're right there, wherever you're at, It's okay. Like I said, the only difference between me and you, maybe, if, you're still down here and I'm up here, is I started before you. You just gotta start. Start right now. Use this motivation. Motivation. You could do it. I could do it. I'm doing it. So you could do it too. For real. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You don't want to. But guess what? You do want to. You're just telling yourself you don't want to, because that's your brain. That's how you think. That's your programming talking. But there's a part inside of you that wants this. You want what I got. I'm telling you, you all want what I got right now, because this is real. This is not an act. This is not me inside my brain being like, oh, I'm going to make these people think I'm doing so good. I'm literally like this. I literally feel like this. It's crazy. And I'm not always like this, but, on the regular, I am doing better, measurably better. And that's all we could ask for. Improvement, baby steps. This doesn't have to happen overnight. One day at a time, one little movement at a time. Challenge yourself. Say, what is the smallest little thing I could do to show that I'm trying? The smallest little thing. Maybe it's just a thought. Maybe you're not ready to take physical action. Maybe just recognizing that you need to change is the first step. Maybe you've been like, I don't need to change. Everything's fine. Yeah, I'm a negative. Yeah, I feel like shit, but that's just how it is. I don't need to change. I'm used to it, whatever. Maybe you're going from there to, maybe I could try changing. The smallest little W is amazing. It's amazing. Don't discount that. If you haven't thought like that, like ever, and now you are thinking, maybe I need to change, That's a miracle happening right there. That's the beginning of your miracle. That's the beginning of the rest of your life. Seriously. It starts somewhere. You need a start, you know? That's it. That's it. You just got to start. And the thing is, once you recognize that there's a problem, you're never going to go back to not recognizing it. You might start making changes and maybe you'll stop, but you're never going to go back to, I don't need to work on myself. You're always going to know that, yeah, this is an issue and, it could be better. So guess what? This is our one chance we're living. So why not turn it around? Why not make the ultimate comeback? Because guess what? You could only make the ultimate comeback if you've been down enough to do so. Because if you've never dropped to the floor, how could you pick yourself up and then some, So remember, if you're on the floor right now, you have the chance to make the ultimate comeback and become one of the coolest freaking people who's ever had a human experience on this planet. Because we are the coolest people ever. The people who freaking turn it all around. But you gotta go through crap in order to make that comeback. So all that crap you're going through, remember, it could be exactly what you needed to break through the normal and just elevate up, 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 up. Heaven on earth, whether we experience heaven afterwards or whatever, all we know right now is that this is the current situation and, it's possible to make it better and better and better and keep getting better. There's no cap. There's literally no cap. It could just keep getting better and better forever. And it's all up to us to put that work in to make it better. Put that work in to be a happy, healthy, confident, positive person. Not toxically positive. We're still, rational people. We know crazy situations can occur, but, we could do the best we can at any given moment. And on the regular, just, every single morning, get filled with that Holy Spirit, that love vibration, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what I've been doing for over a month now. And in a short month, everything's changed. Everything. Since this has changed, everything else has changed. Colors are brighter. People are more beautiful. By the way, you're looking freaking amazing today. My goodness. And it's all just this. Everything actually is still the same, but I'm perceiving it differently. And that's what you need. You need a perception shift. Straight up. It's so simple, right? Guys, I'm going to get going. I'm going to do a little work. I'm just going to do some push-ups. I'm taking it easy because I need to rest and recuperate. So tactical deload week for me as far as working out, but I'm keeping my spirits up even if I get drained at work. I was experiencing burnout. I talked about that last video. Congruency, guys. Let's make this match what comes out of our mouths, what we feel inside of ourselves. And yeah, just get filled with that love vibration, love everyone. That's the goal. No matter where you at, just, make that first step so you could say, you know what? I did this today, and that's better than I've been doing. Even if it was just a thimbleful of, success, that's actually really huge. And I'm very proud of you, and I love you. And you're my friend, you're my brother, you're my sister, and this is how we do it. All right, guys. This is so fun for me. This is so fun. Join me tomorrow for the first ever Love Vibration live stream for Daily Affirmations on this channel right here. You don't have to go to Oakley Boo anymore. We're doing everything right here on this channel. From here on out, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for Affirmations. Remember, you're actually killing it. You are killing it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.